concept is used to execute the queries dynamically, guys. First here, when I select this mobiles, select start from table where select start from products where category is equal to mobile. First it has taken all the mobiles. Now I have selected mobile brand as a Samsung. Now it has retrieved only Samsung mobiles. In the Samsung mobiles I want only RAM 4 GB. 138 products only I got. Actually 11,000 products are available in the Flipkart, but I got only 138 products because I have applied some filters. Okay, filters I am applying. That means they are used to generate the query dynamically. They are used to generate the query dynamically. They are used to generate the query dynamically. Are you able to follow me? QBE, which is used to generate the queries dynamically. QBE is used to generate the queries dynamically. Okay. QBE means constructing the queries dynamically. QBE means constructing the queries dynamically. You understand? So here, if you go for CRUD repository, you can just perform the CRUD operations. But if you go for JPA repository, you can perform CRUD operations, you can perform pagination, you can perform sorting, and you can also perform QBE. QBE means query by example, which is used to construct the queries dynamically. Okay, now let's try to develop one application. Okay, let's try to develop one application. We can copy paste the same application, guys. I will keep it as 12. Okay, 12 Spring Boot data JPA, Spring Boot data JPA repository app. I'm trying to create one application with a name called Spring Boot data JPA repository application. Okay, I'm just changing the name of the project. Okay, cool. Now guys, here I will remove everything from application.java class. I will remove everything from application Java class because already we are having data in the table. I don't want to teach you the same methods again. Save method, save call method, already you know. We just need to understand pagination methods and sorting methods and QBE methods. Those things we are going to understand. Let this project compile. Let this project compile successfully. Good. Project compiled successfully. Project compiled successfully. Okay. Good. Now we need to change small things here. Let me close the remaining projects. I will keep this project enable. I will keep only this project enable. Close unrelated projects. I have closed that project which is open. 11th application I have closed. Now we are working on the 12th application. Go to user repository. Guys, here instead of CRUD repository, I am going to use a concept called JPA repository. Instead of CRUD repository, I am using here JPA repository. Okay, all the things are same. Additional methods we are getting. Now, entity class, I'm not changing anything. Entity class, I'm not changing anything. Okay, same entity class I'm using. Repository, there is a change in the repository. I'm going for JPA repository. Earlier we have used CRUD repository. Now I am using JPA. What are the advantages? Pagination, sorting, QBE. Okay. Application.java. Here we are starting IOC container. Run method we are calling the start class. Then we got the context. Context dot get bean of user repository. Context dot get bean of user repository. Context dot get bean of user repository. I want to get the user repository bean to call the methods to perform the operation. Context dot get bean of user repository dot class. Context dot get bean of user repository dot class. Okay, which is going to give us the user repository bean, user repo. Now guys, see the methods which are available in the user repository. User repo dot find. Okay, there are so many methods available for find. Find all. What is the meaning of find all? What is the meaning of find all, guys? It is going to give all the records which are available in the table. It is going to give all the records which are available in the table. User colon find all. Okay, system dot out dot println of user. It is just giving me all the users available in the table and I am printing them on the console. Okay, run this application. Run it as a Spring Boot application. Run it as a Spring Boot application. Run it as a Spring Boot application. See that? Oh, can you see? 4 records are coming. Can you see? 4 records are coming. Anil, Ganesh, Ram, like that. There are several records are available in the table. Okay, all the data is available in the table. Same data we have used, but no problem. Okay, find all method. Now I want to sort the records. I want to sort the records. This is used to retrieve all the records. Now I want to go for sorting. What I will do is sort dot by. Sort dot by. Now what I will use is user ID dot ascending. I want to retrieve the records with sorting based on ascending order. User ID I want to use for sorting and I want to retrieve the records. Now see here, in the ascending order the records will be displayed. In the ascending order the records will be displayed based on user ID. Select all the records. Now see here, 101, 102, 103, 104. Are we able to retrieve the records based on sorted order? Are we able to retrieve the records based on the sorted order? Based on any column you can sort the data. By using that column names you can sort the data. Okay, and now I want to retrieve the record. Now I want to retrieve the record based on pagination. Based on pagination. Now what Google has done, Google is retrieving 50 records every time. Flipkart is retrieving 40 records every time. I want to retrieve only 3 records every time. For that I need to go for pagination concept. How I will go for pagination? Page request. There is a concept called page request. Page request dot of page number comma page size. page request of page number comma page size. Page number will begin from page comma size. Page number will begin from 0. Size I will give as a 3. Size I will give as a 3. This one I can pass as a parameter for find all method. Find all method, which is expecting page request dot off. Page request cannot convert from page of user to list of users. Okay, when you pass it as a pagination, it is going to return page data. It is going to return page data. From there I will write dot get content. Dot get content. User repository dot find all of this data now, which is going to give me pagination data. Which is going to give me pagination data. So here page request of page number 0. 0 means the first page and 3 records only I want. But actually there are 4 records are available. Actually there are 4 records are available, but I want to retrieve only 3 records. So 0 comma 3. That means first 3 records I am going to retrieve. First page 3 records I am retrieving. When it comes to the Google or Flipkart, Google, what is happening? First page 50 records, 0 comma 5. Now when a user click on this icon, page number 1 comma 50. So that means the second 50 it will get. Now currently see here, I got only 3 records. I got only 3 records because I have specified the size as a 3. Now number is 0, first 3. If I specify number as a 1, 4, 5, 6 records will come. Second page 3 records will come. Page numbers always will start from 0. 0 comma 3. First 3 records it will retrieve. When user click on second page, then we will pass 1. When user click on third page, we will pass 2. Like that you are going to work with pagination concept. Like this we are going to work with pagination concept. Sorting and pagination. Okay. The next one is query by example, guys. Query by example. Query by example is used to filter the data. Query by example is used to filter the data. How we will do is user is equal to new user. User dot set user country. I want to retrieve the people who are belongs to India. I want to retrieve the people who are belongs to India. Okay. Now here I am going to do example dot of user. Example dot of user. I got the example object. I got the example object. That example object I will supply as a parameter for find all method. That example object I will supply as a parameter for find all method. That example method, that example I will supply as a parameter for find all method. Okay. So whatever the data you set in the entity, based on that query will be constructed. Now generally what will happen? Find all method will retrieve all the records. But now what I am doing to call the find all method, I am creating the entity object. For entity object I am setting the data. That entity object I am converting into example, and example object I am passing to this find all. So based on the India, it is going to retrieve the records. Select a star from table where country code is equal to India. So all the users who are belongs to India, those records will be retrieved. The records will be retrieved, the users who are belongs to India. The records will be retrieved for the users who are belongs to India. Who are belongs to India. Able to follow me? Are you guys able to follow me? Are you guys able to follow me? Come on guys. Very good. Very good. Now observe guys, here I have called find all method with 4 different signatures. First I am calling the find all method without passing anything. If I don't pass anything for the find all, what will happen? If we directly call the find all method without any parameter, then what will happen? It is going to retrieve all the records available in the table. If you call the find all method without passing any parameter, it is going to retrieve all the records available in the table. Now, if you want to implement some sorting, find all method. Now, if your repository is extending the properties from JPA repository, if your repository is extending from JPA repository, then find all method will take sorting as a parameter. It can sort the data based on the given value. Based on the user ID, it can sort it. And I want to implement a pagination concept. I want to implement a pagination concept. Pagination means what? Don't retrieve all the records available in the table. Retrieve only first 50. Then retrieve second 50. Then retrieve third 50. So like that, you can do pagination. For pagination, we are passing two parameters. First one is page number, which page data you want to retrieve and how many records you want to retrieve. I am giving 0, that means first page, and retrieve first 3 records. So this is called pagination. And the next third one is QBE. QBE stands for query by example. What is the purpose of QBE? QBE is like a criteria in the Hibernate. QBE is like a criteria in the Hibernate. QBE is used to filter the data by adding where conditions. It is going to construct the query dynamically. Now, I am passing entity object which is having a country name. So then what will happen? Select a star from table where country name is equal to India. It is going to retrieve only India records. It is going to retrieve only India records. Are you able to follow me? Suppose if I set one more thing, then it will apply two clauses in the where. Where clauses will be having two conditions will be added to that query to retrieve the data. Two conditions will be added to that query to retrieve the data. Currently, how many conditions are adding? Only one condition is adding to retrieve the data. So here, sorting we can do, pagination we can do, QBE also we can do when we go for JPA repository. If you go for CRUD repository, you can just call only find all. But here, find all with sorting, find all with pagination, find all with example. 3 additional functionalities we are getting when we go for JPA repository. That is the beauty of the JPA. That is the beauty of the JPA. Okay. This is the example where we are using JPA with the different operations. Getting my point? Our repository interface is just extending the properties from JPA repository. See here how simple it is to retrieve the data with the pagination, with the sorting, with the query by example. Normally, if you want to write it, it will take lot of time and lot of code we need to write. But here, Data JPA simplified our work, guys. Data JPA has simplified our work. If this Data JPA methods are not available, as a programmer, we have to write a lot of code. If Data JPA is not available, as a programmer, we have to write a lot of code. But they have simplified our life by providing predefined methods. They have simplified our code by providing predefined methods. Now, let me show you what is the architecture of this CRUD repository and JPA repository. Now, CRUD repository is one interface. Okay. CRUD repository is one interface. This CRUD repository interface extending the properties from one more interface which is called as repository interface. There is one interface with the name called repository and we are having CRUD repository. Okay. Here we are having JPA repository. Here we are having JPA repository. You got my point, na? CRUD repository available, JPA repository is available. CRUD repository extending the properties from repository interface, and we have JPA repository. Go to JPA repository. JPA repository extending the properties from paging and sorting extending from CRUD repository. Okay, here paging and sorting repository is available. Paging and sorting repository is available, and there is one more repository called query by example executor. One more interface is available, query by example executor. This is complete data JPA architecture. This is complete data JPA architecture. All these are interfaces only, guys. CRUD repository is also a interface. Repository is also a interface. Paging and sorting is also a interface. Okay. Query by example executor is also a interface. JPA repository is also a interface. Here this is also extends the properties. This also extends. This also extends. Okay. Now, can you see here what is the relation between CRUD repository and JPA repository? Is there any relation between JPA repository and CRUD repository? Is there any relation between JPA repository and CRUD repository? CRUD repository is one interface which is extending the properties from another interface called repository. Repository is a marker interface. There are no methods available. It is marker interface. The interface which doesn't contain any methods is called as marker interface. Repository is a marker interface. CRUD repository having methods to perform CRUD operations. Save method, 12 methods available here. 12 methods. 12 methods available in the CRUD repository. All the methods of CRUD repository can I access by using JPA repository also? All the methods of CRUD repository can I access by using JPA repository also? Come on. Repository, that is a marker interface. CRUD repository extending the properties from repository interface. CRUD repository having 12 methods. What are the methods available in the CRUD repository? Can I access in the JPA repository also? CRUD repository methods we can access by using JPA repository also. CRUD repository methods we can access using JPA repository also, because indirectly it is extending the properties. Can I say it is a multi-level inheritance? JPA repository extending from paging and sorting. Paging and sorting is extending from CRUD repository. It is a multi-level inheritance. Okay, good. So observe the diagram clearly. The relation between CRUD repository and JPA repository. Why? JPA repository providing additional features. JPA repository extending the properties from paging and sorting, and query by example executor. So pagination, sorting, query by example. 3 additional features we have in the JPA repository. Pagination, sorting, and QBE are the pagination, sorting, and QBE. QBE are additional features providing by JPA repository because it is extending the properties from those two interfaces. Pagination, sorting, and QBE are additional features providing by JPA repository. CRUD repository is just providing CRUD operational methods, whereas JPA repository extending the properties from paging and sorting and QBE. That's why pagination, sorting, and QBE are the additional features providing by JPA repository. Pagination is used to display the data with multiple pages. Pagination is used to display the data in multiple pages. Example, Gmail inbox. Only 50 records will display at a time. Gmail inbox. Only 50 records will display at a time. Sorting is used to sort the data based on price high, ascending and descending order. Sorting is used to sort the data in ascending or descending order. Sorting is used to sort the data in ascending or descending order. Price high to low, low to high. Example, price high to low or price low to high. Price high to low or price low to high. This is one example for sorting. QBE is like a criteria. QBE is like a criteria which is used to filter the data dynamically. Okay, like this. Select a star from products. All products will come. Okay, now here I want to filter it. Select a star from products where category is equal to mobiles. Now next one, select star from products where category is equal to mobiles and brand is equal to Apple. So these are kind of conditions which are used to filter the data. Such a kind of data filter we can do by using criteria. In the data JPA we are having QBE. Which is used to filter the data. QBE is used to filter the data. Are you guys comfortable with this? In Spring Data JPA, we can perform CRUD operations in two ways. One is by using CRUD repository, second one is by using JPA repository. CRUD repository methods we discussed in the last session. So today we are seeing JPA repository. JPA repository is superior to CRUD repository. That means it is a super senior. So it is doing more things. JPA repository providing some additional features when we compare with CRUD repository. CRUD repository providing only CRUD operational methods. Save, delete, retrieve, all such kind of methods available in the CRUD repository. There are 12 methods available in the CRUD repository which are used to perform CRUD operations. If you go for JPA repository, it is providing CRUD operational methods, it is providing pagination, it is providing sorting, it is providing QBE. Like this you can call find all the records, find all with sorting, find all with pagination, find all with example. Okay, so you can call that method based on your requirement. That is the beauty of JPA repository. Okay, now sir, what is the relation between CRUD repository and JPA repository? CRUD repository extending the properties from repository interface. CRUD repository extending the properties from repository interface. Repository is a marker interface. There are no methods. But in the CRUD repository, there are 12 methods are available to perform CRUD operations. Sir, CRUD repository having 12 methods, but a JPA repository can access those 12 methods because there is a multi-level inheritance. JPA repository extending the properties from paging and sorting and QBE. Paging and sorting is extending from CRUD. That means JPA indirectly extending the properties from CRUD repository and providing additional benefits. Got it? Now, as the JPA repository extending from paging and sorting, pagination we can do, sorting we can do. As the JPA repository extending from QBE, query by example also we can do. Okay, pagination is used to display the data in multiple pages. Pagination is used to display the data in multiple pages. I have shown you one real-time example. Gmail inbox, Flipkart products. Gmail will display only 50 records per page. After that, you have to click on the next, then the next 50 records will come. Similarly, Flipkart mobiles are displaying in the sorted order. Price high to low, price low to high, popular mobiles, newest mobiles. User can sort the data. And similarly, user can filter the data. Right? First time I want to see all the mobiles. Next I want to see only Samsung mobiles. Next I want to see Samsung mobiles with RAM as 6 GB. I can apply several conditions for my data. I can apply for several conditions for my data. To apply the conditions for your data, you can go for QBE concept. I am setting the data to my entity which I want to apply as a condition. That entity I am passing as a parameter to find all. So it is going to apply that condition user country as India, then it will retrieve only the users who are belongs to India country. So this is all about JPA repository, guys. So now do you understand the difference between CRUD repository and JPA repository? Last time, one of our students told me that, sir, in the interview, they asked me, what is the difference between CRUD repository and JPA repository? Then I have taken the pen and paper, I have drawn this diagram and I showed to them. They did not ask any question in the JPA. Will they ask any question if you show this diagram? Will they ask any question? No way. Generally people will say CRUD repository, JPA repository will support for pagination. But our students will show with the proper diagram, internals. Why that pagination came for JPA? Why the pagination not available for CRUD repository? How they have developed internally? What is the relation between them? Complete diagram if you show, वो बंदा को confidence आ जाता है आपके बारे में. Yes, this person knows data JPA. They don't ask you any question in the data JPA. Confident? Differences between CRUD repository and JPA repository now? We are understanding internals. How it is working in the background. ठीक है guys? Yes. Good. Sir, can we apply? One person asking a question, Monali asked a very good question. How to apply pagination, sorting and query by example, all three at a time. You see the syntax of that method, user repo dot find all. Can we apply all the three at a time? No. You can apply only example, you can apply only pagination, you can apply only sorting, you can apply example and pagination, you can apply example and sorting. All three you cannot apply. So you see possibilities. If you see the syntax of the method, you can understand which two you can apply. Only pagination you can apply, only example we can apply, only sorting you can apply. If you want to apply for combination, if you want to apply in the combination, example pagination, example sorting, all the three not possible. Okay? Yeah, you can check the syntax of the find all method with the JPA repository, then you can understand what combinations we can apply. Monali, did I answer your question? Yeah, good. Alright guys, I hope you got the concept of JPA repository, how to develop the application by using JPA repository. Okay, thank you. With this, I'm stopping for today. We'll continue tomorrow. I will upload the class notes now. Good. These methods are implemented by data JPA in the runtime by using proxy. I have told you that, right? I have told you that. Here we are not creating any implementation class. If you are creating implementation and implementing the methods, then there is no use of going for data JPA, man. Data JPA is used to simplify our life. We no need to write the code to perform the CRUD operations. That is the reason we are going for data JPA. Why we are extending from data JPA? If you extend from the data JPA, we can access all the methods available in the repository. Those methods will be implemented in the runtime by using proxy. To use the benefits of the data JPA, we are extending JPA repository. If I don't extend from the JPA repository, then what will happen? It is a normal marker interface. There is no use of this. There is no use of this. Can I use data JPA benefits if I write my repository like this? No. I want to use the benefits of the data JPA. In order to use the benefits of data JPA, we have to extend the properties. Why we will extend the properties? To call the methods of that interface. Who will implement that? In the runtime, proxy class will be created. In the runtime, proxy class will be created. Okay? Cool. Thank you. Please practice this before coming to tomorrow. Tomorrow will continue. Bye-bye. Good night.